Hey, Field.
What's up?
You want some eggs?
Not really. We're kind of going to start recording.
You want some eggs naked?
Can we just do the episode about the firm? That's all I want to do. That's it.
With some naked eggs on the side.
Listen. You do you.
This is
don't want you to do me.
Ladies and gentlemen, please notice that exits are conveniently located at the front and rear of this auditorium. When leaving the theater, we suggest that the exit at the front of the auditorium will allow you easier access to the parking areas. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Mike Butler.
And I'm Mike Field.
And you're watching or listening Forgotten Cinema. Each episode, we highlight a film that, for a variety of reasons, was forgotten by audiences. Whether it be because a more popular movie was released at the same time, or the audience simply didn't catch on to a movie in its initial run. We'll discuss what we love about the movie, maybe don't love about it, but we'll always recommend you revisit it. You never know. You might find your own forgotten gem. If you enjoy Forgotten Cinema, we want to hear from you. We're on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube. We're on all platforms with a backlog of over 275, almost 300 episodes. For your pleasure.
Almost. What's going on?
Nothing. I just, I've been living in that crappy apartment in
Boston.
While going to school at Harvard, trying to go to law school, trying to, get my law degree, trying to become a lawyer. I've got offers from top prestigious firms. But there's one small firm, only 41 people in Memphis, that offered me 20% over the highest asking price, a mortgage on a house, a Mercedes-Benz. I even get to pick the color. Low interest mortgage. I mean, I don't see why I shouldn't take this deal, but I mean, they're acting a little weird. People are dying in their firm. They're all about family and control, and it's really awkward. But Gene Hackman is my mentor. That's kind of awesome. And also, I get to sleep with random women on the beach, which is weird, but I guess cool. I don't know.
It's random. She was in Legends of the Fall. That's right. That's where we are doing the 1993 movie, The Firm, starring Tom Cruise. This is a movie from my kind of early days falling in love with film. So fond memories of just that time watching a lot of movies, consuming a lot of film and whatnot. So let's get into what we like to do here at the show. The facts and all that stuff.
Let's do the show part of the show.
You know how it goes. So The Firm has a runtime of 154 minutes. It's rated R. Production budget of $42 million. Came out on so now my release date here. It's got a release date of Wednesday, June 30th, 1993. But when you go and look up like on Box Office Mojo or even on like Wikipedia, it says that the release date was July 2nd. So I think that it probably came out the 30th I'm sorry, when you go into like, sometimes you go into the numbers, you go day by day and it still isn't listed as the 30th. So I think it was probably scheduled to come out on the 2nd, which is the Friday.
Right.
And then just got pushed back to Wednesday to kind of get a jump on the July 4th weekend. So
okay, yeah.
So I think it's a July 4th movie, but it came out on the 30th. But we're gonna give you. These numbers are for the weekend of the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. They're actually two different types of numbers. I'm not gonna give you the holiday weekend numbers because they had the Monday because the Monday was a day off. Yeah. But so it came out on the 30th, but the numbers are gonna be for the weekend of the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. So opening weekend it did $25.4 million. It's domestic. Its full domestic was $158 million. Its full international is $112 million for a worldwide total of $270 million. So quite the hit, Butler.
Wow. Yeah.
Production company was Davis Entertainment, Scott Rudin Productions, and Mirage Enterprises, and it was distributed by Paramount Pictures. So it's like I said, I talked to you about how it came out on the July 4th weekend, July 2nd. So let's go back a week to June 25th of that year, 1993. You had Dennis the Menace, Sleepless in Seattle, and What's Love Got to Do with It, and a limited release of House of Cards. I'm sure you saw Sleepless and What's Love Got to Do with It. Did you see that one?
Oh, much later, yeah. And I've also seen Dennis the Menace because in 1993, I was in kindergarten. So, yeah.
It's not that good.
No, I remember not liking
Walter Matthau, right?
Yep.
Yeah. The week of when The Firm came out, it went up against I consider one of Pauly Shore's better movies, Son-in-Law.
Yeah.
I do like Encino Man, but I think Son-in-Law is his better film. It's one of his better ones.
It is one of his better ones. I think Encino Man is a better movie, but yeah.
Can you name any other ones that he's good? Like Encino Man, Son-in-Law, and then what else?
Oh, no. All those other movies are bad.
Sure.
Biodome. I've been told by a few people that Biodome's not as bad as I remember, but I really don't want to test that theory.
Who's saying that to you?
I don't remember, but I've had it has been at least 2 different people in random different times.
Well, you can create another Forgotten Cinema series where it goes Forgotten Cinema. Is this as bad as I thought? And then the week after the July 9th, you had In the Line of Fire, Rookie of the Year, and Weekend at Bernie's 2.
Yeah, I've seen all 3 of those. Weekend at Bernie's 2, I saw on Comedy Central, so I don't know if that counts if they cut too much out.
I'm sure they did, but you saw it, so that's fine.
Yeah.
This film is directed by Sidney Pollack. He was nominated for an Oscar for Michael Clayton and Tootsie.
Michael Clayton episode we did on the podcast.
Yes, and he also won for Out of Africa. Screenplay was David Rabe and Robert Town. I guess Rabe. I guess that would be his name. Rabe, The Casualties of War in Hurly-Burly, and Town is done. Nominated for 4 Oscars. Won Chinatown. He's also nominated for Last Detail, Shampoo, and Greystoke, Legends of Tarzan. And then there's another subtitle that I didn't bother to write down. Another screenplay credit for David Raphael, who's done 3 Days of the Condor and the 1995 version of Sabrina, which I actually kind of like.
3 Days of Condor, movie we did in the podcast.
Another great film. Cinematographer was John Seal. I think this is his last film. He has been nominated for 5 Oscars. He's won 1 for The English Patient, but then the other ones are Rain Man, Witness,
An episode we did on the podcast,
Cold Mountain, and Mad Max Fury Road.
Cold Mountain, I believe, is on our list.
Is it?
Yes.
Ooh, really?
Because I can't remember if I liked it or not, but I remember
not liking
I remember liking the way it was filmed, and that's really what I remember most about it.
I remember being very bored in that movie.
It is a very long, boring movie.
Yeah. Composer was David Grusin, who has 8 nominations for Oscars. He's won 1 for the Milagro Beanfield War. Excuse me. Did you ever see that?
No, I know of the title, and I think I had to watch a clip in one of my film classes about it, but I don't remember if it was writing or cinematography.
98% positive that Robert Redford directed that. I think that's his film.
Okay.
I don't know if he's in it. He's not in it as much. I don't know. I know he directed.
But when I saw the note with that in there, I was interested to go back and try to see if I remember anything about it.
Edited by, Frederick Steinkamp and William Steinkamp. That is a father-son team. Frederick, the father, has 5 Oscar nominations. He won for Grand Prix. And Steinkamp has nominated for Fabulous Baker Boys, Out of Africa, and Tootsie. Produced by John Davis, Sidney Pollack, and Scott Rudin. Davis has done Waterworld, Prey, and Game Night. Pollack has, again, pretty much produced the movies that he directed since Out of Africa won Best Picture that year. He obviously has an Oscar for that. He also was nominated for Tootsie, and he was nominated for Best Picture Oscar for The Reader, which was Kate Winslet. Did you ever see that?
No, because it looked very boring. And then I had no interest after Hugh Jackman made fun of how boring it was in his Oscars opening monologue that year. Nice. And I was like, I mean, if they're going to make fun of how boring it is in front of them, I don't think it's going to be a movie for me.
I didn't know that. Jeez.
It was basically he was doing a musical number, and his musical number for The Reader was The Reader. I forgot to see The Reader.
Well,
I don't think I really have to.
It's like a depressing topic. So that's probably partly why. And then you had Scott Rudin, who has 10 Oscar nominations for Best Pictures, and one of them he won for No Country for Old Men, a Butler favorite. This film has a ton of people, including Tom Cruise as Mitch McDear. You know Tom Cruise has 3 Oscar nominations? Can you tell me the movies he was nominated for?
Magnolia?
Yes. He has 3 acting. Excuse me, I should say he has 3 acting.
Oh, does he have a bunch of producing ones?
I think he was nominated for Top Gun Maverick. Wasn't that nominated for Best Picture?
I believe so, yeah.
So he has that nomination.
Okay.
But I'm talking about, so Magnolia is 1.
Born on the 4th of July?
That's 2.
Risky Business?
No.
I was thinking it's going to be something out of like nowhere.
You should know this. It's around the same. He's going to make the movie in 3 years from this film.
Oh, Jerry Maguire.
Yes, Jerry Maguire. Good job.
You complete me.
I was going to go, help me, help you. Jean Triplehorn as Abby McDear, Mitch's wife. She's in Waterworld, Basic Instinct, and the TV show Big Love. Gene Hackman, as Butler said earlier, is Avery Toller. His mentor is nominated for 3 Oscars, has won 2. Dare I ask you to name the 2 he's won for?
Didn't he win for Royal Tenenbaums?
He did not.
Oh, but he was nominated?
He did not.
Oh, no? I thought, he just was critically acclaimed.
Yeah.
Even though he hated that movie.
I love Gene Hackman.
Wow. No, I don't think I could.
You cannot get these movies that he was Think of his like big films.
French Connection.
Yes, C1 for that.
Okay.
Popeye Doyle, great film.
Amazing film. We did that on the podcast?
We did. We were going to do, no.
We never did the first one for the podcast? We just did the brunch thing.
No, yes.
Okay.
No, did we? I know I've done it because I think we talked about doing French Connection 2.
We did talk about that doing 2. That's on our sequels list for the plan.
Yeah.
Come
Come on, man. We talked about this movie. So we are recording. No, yeah, we talked about this. We talked about this movie that he won an Oscar for last week. In our episode last week. Well, we doubled up last week, right?
We did.
So the first one. It was one of them. Come on, man.
I don't got it. I don't got it in my head.
Unforgiven. And he was nominated for Mississippi Burning, another great film.
Damn. I feel stupid now.
Yeah. I'm really just.
I'm very disappointed in myself.
Hal Holbrook as Oliver Lambert, who is one of the partners in the firm that Mitch goes to. He's nominated for an Oscar for Into the Wild. He's also in Lincoln and All the President's Men.
A movie we did.
There we go. Terry Kinney as Lamar Quinn from Fly Away Home.
A movie we did.
Sleepers, the TV show Billions, and the TV show Oz. Wilford Brimley.
Yay.
As William Devasher from The Natural, In and Out, and The Thing.
Diabetes.
and Diabetes.
and Cocoon, right?
What?
And Cocoon.
He was in Cocoon.
Yeah. Isn't that the big thing? Wasn't he nominated for Cocoon?
No, he didn't have any nominations.
Oh, really?
Yeah, unless they were lying to me.
Oh, no, I'm sure they aren't. I always thought he was nominated for Cocoon for some reason.
No.
Okay.
Ed Harris as Wayne Terrence. Dare I ask you what his Oscar nods?
We probably already did those.
He was nominated for Apollo 13, The Truman Show, Pollock, and The Hours.
I wouldn't have gotten The Hours. That I wouldn't have gotten.
Ed Harris plays the FBI agent that's kind of trying to run Mitch when he tells him, like what's going on. I should say Wilford Brimley plays Devasher as a the head of security.
Head of security, the tough guy.
Terry Kinney, who plays Lamar Quinn, is kind of Mitch's not mentor because that's Avery, but his kind of
his buddy, his connection to the firm. It was very nebulous. Wait, like was he friends with him in college? Did he know him?
Because he was closer in age to him, so he was helping him out.
Right. Okay.
And his wife was kind of like
glommed onto his wife.
What's that?
Glommed onto his wife.
Who? Mitch's wife. She was like the welcoming.
Yeah.
David Strathairn as Ray McDear, who plays Mitch's older brother. He's nominated for an Oscar for Good Night and Good Luck. He's also in Lincoln and Godzilla. And
the Bourne movies.
Yes, in the Bourne. Well, I couldn't figure out which ones. I didn't.
He was in not Ultimate. He's in Supremacy because he dies, I believe. At the end of that.
Isn't he in the second one?
That's Supremacy. Yeah.
No, so I thought so. Oh, right.
Yeah.
Gary Busey is Eddie Lomax. He was nominated for an Oscar for the Buddy Holly story. He's also in Point Break and Lethal Weapon. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to go through the other ones. I'll give them real quick. So they got a bunch of other people in there. Stephen Hill plays the Denton Voiles, who's the head of the FBI. He's in Law and Order show. If you ever watch the original Law and Order with Adam Schiff. Tobin Bell, who's from Saw and Malice, plays the Nordic man. Jerry Hardin, who is I guess he's one of the other partners but he's like he's in there just a couple scenes.
He doesn't talk much. Yeah.
He plays Royce McKnight. We know him as Deep Throat in X-Files.
This is 1993. As soon as he popped up, I was like, it's Deep Throat. Deep Throat when we were watching the X-Files. Yeah. This is Deep Throat like simultaneously.
Jerry Weintraub as Sonny Caps, the shady guy that they go down to talk to in the Cayman Islands. He's a producer. He's produced a bunch of stuff, including a movie that we did on the show, The Legend of Tarzan.
Good movie, underrated movie.
Margot Martindale as Nina Huff, who plays Mitch's secretary. You've seen her in the TV show The Americans, and she was on the first couple seasons of Dexter as well.
Yeah, she's one of those people that when you see her in something, you're like, oh man, everywhere. I've seen her in everything.
Justified.
Yep.
She's everywhere. I think she was in that Sneaky Pete show too, or whatever. And then Dean Norris, he's the other
from Breaking Bad.
From Breaking Bad, he's the other tough guy who won Tobin Bell. They're going around killing.
Elise didn't recognize him at first because he was younger. I go, that's Breaking Bad. She's like, what?
Him now.
Oh yeah.
He was in all these movies where he's like just like kind of like one line roles,
background like tough guy. Yeah,
really kind of like it's kind of cool when you see now that he made it big in he hit
Breaking Bad. Yeah.
Like. He's in I've seen him in other stuff. He's in Carry On with
is he
with Taron Egerton, the Netflix show.
Yeah,
you don't think of it like when you see an actor like in Breaking Bad and he pops up, you're like, oh my god, that guy's great. Where's this guy been before? But then you don't realize he has a pantheon of one line, one role, one week's works of stuff.
Worked his way up to him.
That's like a working actor right there. And then Karina Lombard, who I joked about in the opening, the young woman on the beach that Mitch has sex with and cheats with over his wife. She's actually she's the woman that Brad Pitt falls in love with in Legend of the Fall. Like that's her. That's.
I thought she looked familiar.
She's
Yeah.
very familiar. All right, so that's the cast list. I think I said that I saw this film before, so I kind of going into it I was curious if I was still going to like it and whatnot. But now you had never seen this film.
I've only known of this film. I know my dad didn't really read John Grisham novels.
Yes,
But he always had The Firm. And I remember my dad's an avid reader. So he's always had a lot of books on his shelf. And The Firm was always turned like one of the ones where it had a cool cover. So we had it turned facing out.
Really?
And I remember The Firm
Yeah.
I had thought he was splat on the ground with the suitcase, but he's actually got puppet strings. Cause I re-looked it up because I was trying to tell Lisa, I was like, I remember the cover. It's gold writing. And the guy's a splat. He's holding his briefcase. And I looked it up and I go, oh man, almost exactly. Only there's puppet strings. He's not splatted.
I should bring that up for those who don't know. So this was like one of the first John Grisham books that was adapted. And this was when John Grisham was like white hot.
Yeah.
Like, cause it was like, I think Gene Hackman's in like 2 other Grisham adaptations. Like, so
Isn't he in the Pelican Brief comes out that year?
he's in the Pelican Brief. Is he in the Pelican Brief? I know he's
I
in.
thought he was.
I know he's in.
But I know the
Runaway
Pelican Brief
Jury.
came out that. Yep. That.
So, but like The Client, Pelican Brief.
The Client's
Runaway
another one
Jury,
I'd like to see.
There is just a ton of. You've never seen The Client?
I've only seen the beginning of The Client and I never watched it because The Client begins with the kid witnessing the murder, right?
Fudge. I don't know. What's the one where the 2 kids are waving each other? They're waving at each other in the house or the courtroom. The courtroom blows up.
I don't know.
That's like there's it might be The Client, but there's one Tommy Lee Jones in The Client.
Yes.
Then that's the one. These 2 kids at the opening of the thing, they're sent out the window. They're like, hi, you're like, hi, boom. The whole blows up, just like awesome. It's ridiculous. What's the one that Matt Damon's in?
Rainmaker.
That's another one of his. So his books, he is like beyond huge. Kind of like I can only think of like Dan Brown, when like the Da Vinci Code movie and although his books were going out, but they just did those 3.
Yeah, but those are those.
Books.
John Grisham is like Tom Clancy. Whereas Tom Clancy for military is John Grisham for law.
I know. I was trying to equate the fervor behind John Grisham's the novelist and his books becoming movies to something recent. That's why I was trying to say like
those blew up. Yeah,
just that's how big it was. So this was a big anticipated film coming out, and the fact that Tom Cruise was in it, it was just a really big. There was a lot of expectations. So I'm curious, Mike, what'd you think? It's long.
It's good. It is long. It is a little too long, but it kept my interest up until. And it still kept my interest. I had checked the time when everything started with his plan to kind of mail fraud, prove mail fraud for the law firm. I checked the time when he's starting his plan and I'm like, wow, there's still like a good 45 minutes left of this movie. I feel like that could have been tightened up a little bit to make it a little bit more suspenseful. But it still held my interest. The whole movie kept my interest. I just think that I think very few movies should be as long as that is. I think like historical epic should be that long. And that's about it. But I thought it was very well done. Tom Cruise is a great actor. I know we always say it on the podcast, but he is so underrated because a lot of his movies are like action movies now. And then I realized like Tom Cruise can act. And I think he's really good in this role. He's charming. When he's scared and angry. He's really good. Gene Hackman is always really good. I like Gene Hackman's Avery. Avery is a very interesting character who doesn't do what you're maybe expecting him to do. He's not who you expect him to be. It's just a really well done movie that's kind of like low key. Yeah, I really like it. The Eddie Lomax stuff is a little kind of.
Well, Eddie stuff is fast.
It's a little silly, but I think that's also kind of a good thing because the movie takes itself maybe a little too seriously until his scenes where I'm like, all right, that's it's a little like kind of levity, even though he's getting shot and murdered.
Well, I imagine that's just like Gary Busey and like Pollock is probably like, okay, well, this is what you want to do. And I got it. And Gary's just probably like just going crazy.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It's fine. It works.
Why did we So yeah, no, I liked it. I wouldn't say I loved it, but I did really like it. There's a lot to like. I did not like not liking Wilford Brimley. I didn't like.
Oh, that he was a bad
I
guy.
didn't like him as a bad guy,
Such a jerk,
but
too.
that's because I think this is the only thing I've ever seen in where he's not a good guy. So I was kind of like,
Well, he's not technically. I don't know. He is a good guy in the thing, but he's kind of not. And he's kind of being like a stubborn in the thing.
yeah.
But yeah, I'm trying to think like the other in and out now. You're right. He's not really somebody who's been at a lot of bad guy movie roles, but but he deserved everything he got in this film.
Oh, absolutely. I think he does a really good job. Like when he won't even look him in the eye when he drives in that secluded spot with Tobin Bell's character.
Oh,
and he gives him the photos and he just looking photos. Yep. It's a great thing we're here to protect you should those photos ever get out, but they won't get out because I'll make sure that they stay safe. And he's just looking straight. And it's just like, what? Like, not only is he a bad guy blackmailing it, but he's such a dick about it. Like, come on.
Open him up. Good for you. Take him out. Take a picture.
Yeah. Yeah, you go ahead. Open it. You could open it.
Yeah. So
not just regular sex, too, oral stuff.
Talking about oral sex. It's Wilford Brimley, Quaker Oats guy. I don't want to hear Quaker Oats guy telling me about fellatio. 2 things I like in the morning: Quaker Oats and blowjobs. A lot of kids' childhoods have just been. Yeah. So let's talk about, because you brought up Tom Cruise and you brought up the acting. One of my notes here is that there's a lot of acting with Cruise and Triplehorn, as Mitch and Abby, but especially. But there's a lot of facial acting going on. There's a lot of no words, less dialogue, just more
close-ups and holding the shot.
And there seems to be a lot of that going on in terms of the emoting in the face and the things that they don't say, the pregnant pauses, as you were.
Right.
And they're, especially with them too, not so much with Gene Hackman and his acting. I think Gene Hackman, he makes everything just so easy. Like there are very few actors that just, it's never like they're acting. They're just, they exist.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
With Hackman, anything Hackman is in, it could be the worst thing, even like Welcome to Mooseport, which I've seen a couple
You don't
times.
like Mooseport?
No, I don't. I'm just saying, like
it's fine.
but I'm saying that's a role that somebody could come in like Hackman and just be like, oh, screw this, I'm getting the paycheck. But like he is just effortless.
Oh yeah,
effortless.
Even like I said, Royal Tenenbaums. Yeah, he hated that movie. Yeah. But the scenes that he's in, he's working and he's phenomenal in that movie. Yeah.
So I'm curious, like what you thought of what's going on between Cruise and Triplehorn, or Cruise throughout the movie, the way he's acting, like, because it's different from a lot of his other stuff.
No, Cruise, especially early Cruise, it's not a lot of him being slick and clever. And, there's not a lot of, he's got one moment where he does the really ridiculous Tom Cruise laugh where he's, he has one moment of doing that, but he's not really smiling throughout the rest of the movie. A lot of it's very serious, verging on tears, super stressed out. Obviously, makeup effects person does a great job showing him just like, he looks like a man who has not slept for like 3 weeks toward the end of the film. But I love those close-ups. I love that that he and Abby don't have like the classic blowout arguments that you see in all these movies. Mm-hmm. Because then I was just watching, Robert De Niro talking about acting in a clip on Instagram. And he talked about acting is what you don't see. Acting is the emotion you do not see, because no one wants to emote in real life. They want to hold it back, and that's absolutely true. And I think this movie is a great example of that. No one's blowing up. No one's flying off the handle. Even when Abby finds out that Mitch cheated on her,
oh, man.
It's a quiet argument. She's heartbroken. You got the close up. She asks for the keys. She just takes them. She leaves. It's not like this. I gotta blow. It's like those moments are great and they're really fun for an actor to do, but it's not very realistic. And there's like this tension of, what are they gonna do? What's she gonna do? Mm-hmm. And like the fact that it's just so quiet and it's just like, oh, that's even worse than like blowing up. It's just, I really like that. I like that there's stuff said between them when they talk about Abby's past, that she grew up with money. Mm-hmm. And he's like, I want to get these things for you. And you could see in her eyes, her responses are very small, very short. Yeah. Like you get it without having to go through like what does her dad do for a living? Where did she grow up? What town? Like, I don't need that. I need that emotion.
You get to that crux too when within like one or two line deliveries when he's just like, people who have money don't understand what it's like to be poor, like that whole thing.
Right. And she's like, well, it's not about money. This is about that boy in the trailer. And like, it's like, I that's great stuff.
Yeah. It's funny because we're talking about, this started as a conversation about Tom Cruise's acting, and I'm surprised we're going there because I don't think we ever have any issue with it.
No, we talk a lot about how he's a great actor.
Right. And he doesn't start doing the Mission Impossible film. Actually, that's 96 as well, right? 95.
I'm pretty sure 95 is the first Mission Impossible.
Yeah. So, and that one is that Mission Impossible is a lot different, obviously, than like the one that's upcoming, Final Reckoning, or the ones that have been here. But
the very first one, it's a thriller.
The last like 10 years of his career are vastly different than the 10 years of maybe in the 90s. I'd like to see him like go do a lot less more. I love the action, but like maybe just kind of let's do some other stuff.
I 100% agree, but I just don't think you're going to get that.
It's not true. I think you will get like I think you will get,
a heavy acting role from him.
I'm not looking for him to go off and do Shakespeare or like, do the tragedy of Macbeth.
I'd be okay with that.
No,
curious
but
as what he'd do.
The roles like Magnolia or Jerry Maguire or like
100%. Kind of stuff, I think he should go do that.
Stuff like that kind of grounds him as an actor and his character work. Like American Made is 2017. American Made, he's good in.
That's true.
So
that's also on our list.
It is. So like that's something like I just kind of like. But again, with all the Mission Impossibles, I know we were cramming those in there during the pandemic, so they were just kind of like trying to get them out.
Sure.
And that's coming. So that's fine. I mean, we have no problem with that.
Yeah, but you're right. American Made, obviously Collateral, which is one of my favorite movies, which we did in the thing, is semi-recent. Within the middle of his doing all the action movies, like he can still occasionally lock down and do something awesome.
Yeah.
I would love to see him just pop into a movie and have like, Holly Hunter it up and do like a 10-minute scene where it's just like, holy crap, that was time, and he's gone, which he kind of does in Tropic Thunder as well. But like something like that where he's like just like really good and then like, but he's not the focus, just to flex his muscles and leave.
I've always said that about Harrison Ford. So for instance, the movie, the Family Stone, where Craig T. Nelson's the dad in that, like a role like that. Well, I want Harrison Ford in a role like that, which he is now in Shrinking. So in the TV show Shrinking. So he's kind of got that, he was doing all these leading man roles and all this stuff. It's like at some point, it's like you have the capability of doing another one of those type of a role where you're not the lead and you're just kind of like, you get like the juicy stuff and you can, you get the good lines and the good, you carry the film. Because then you can shine more. So I agree with you there. All right, so let's get back to the firm now. You brought up Holly Hunter. I think it's really just like odd that her performance gets nominated for an Oscar.
Yeah, me too. I was like, wait, what? I was waiting for her to pop up in the film, first of all, because I read that she got an Oscar for this movie. And she pops up on the titles. And I'm just like, where is she?
Yeah.
And then at first, I didn't even recognize her as the secretary at first. And then I'm like, oh, wait, that's Holly Hunter in that bad wig.
Right. So she had like 6 minutes of screen time.
Less, 5 minutes and something seconds.
5 minutes and 59 seconds. I rounded up.
The lowest amount of anyone who's won an Oscar.
Which I'm surprised because did she win? No, she didn't win. She got nominated.
I thought she won.
No, she did not.
Oh, okay. Then I'm okay with her just getting nominated.
She didn't win. Anna Paquin won for the piano that year.
Okay.
She was nominated, but I could have sworn that Judi Dench was shorter in Shakespeare in Love when she got nominated. Maybe she was longer. She was on the screen longer then.
Maybe. I haven't seen Shakespeare in Love in a long time.
Yeah. So, because she plays the queen at the end of the film. But the other thing is, her performance was fine. It was good. It wasn't like a standout.
Yeah, it's everybody makes fun of what's her face in Marissa Tomei and My Cousin Vinny for getting nominated. But like this is like, no. I mean, come on.
Who makes fun of her but you forget?
A lot of people don't think she deserved the Oscar for
Without her in that role, that movie doesn't work.
Listen, I think she deserved it. I'm just saying a lot of people don't.
That's a ridiculous.
Because I think a lot of people undermine, we talk about it all the time, don't take comedy seriously and don't like have any respect for comedies. But no, I think she doesn't do anything. I mean, she's a great actress. She's a phenomenal actress, but I just don't think she does anything in this film where it's like, wow. I mean, does she deserve an Oscar for even pretending to want to give Gary Busey a blowjob? I guess. Is that Oscar worthy?
I skipped over her in our facts.
You did. I was like, wait, you didn't bring up. I was like, all right.
So Holly Hunter plays Tammy Hemphill, who is Eddie Lomax's secretary. She's
Slash
there.
lover.
Yeah, well, she's there when Eddie Lomax gets killed. She's under the table. Yeah, she's. I'm so I'm terrible. This is terrible. So she actually won that year. She was nominated for 2 Oscars.
Right.
She was nominated for this film,
right,
Firm, and she was nominated for Best Actress in The Piano, and she won for The Piano.
Oh, that's right. I was thinking who was in Anna Paquin in The Piano. It was her. Piano was really
She's
depressing.
also nominated for 13 in Broadcast News, and she's in Raising Arizona. So I apologize for that. I skipped over like a jerk.
I mean, she's got some interesting. Like I like when she's nervous in the diner.
No, she's
got good
great,
scenes. It's just not enough to really
I don't understand the nomination. Whatever.
It's even more interesting that she won for The Piano because everyone talks about splitting votes and stuff. So she must have gotten all the votes.
Fun fact: I've never seen The Piano.
Really?
Yeah, it was one of those films I just never got to.
It's a tough watch.
Yeah, well, I think that was part of the reason I was
right.
just like, I don't want to watch this. I don't want to watch this.
I said that the entire time I watched the movie. It was on TV, and I was like, I knew it was an Oscar-winning movie, and I was just like, I don't want to watch this. Yeah. I don't want to watch this. And I had my hand on the remote the whole time that day. I was just like, I should watch it. The movie's 20 minutes over.
I usually now try to watch all the films that were nominated. And even like last year, I think, was it Drive My Car? Was it the Korean film?
Yeah.
I mean, that movie was like 2:30, and I'm just like, oh.
I remember you watched that last because you wwere like, I got to watch it because I did all the others. But,
yeah, because I wanted to watch it. I wanted to do that this year. There's like 3 or 4 of them. I'm just like, I don't want to watch these. Why am I putting myself through this? But I will watch it. I will try. I'll try at some point. Let's talk. We've talked about actors and actresses and the performances. And you kind of brought up the whole plot, which is his base. He goes there. He finds out that
it's a mob law firm. Basically,
he takes it upon himself to just start investigating why these 2 lawyers who he's never met died, because
he is basically starting to be groomed by the FBI, and he gets kind of suspicious.
They ask him, right, and so he's trying to figure out like what happened, and then he gets to here's my thing with the plot and his solution. He figures out mail fraud, because every time you overbill and you send it out through the mail, it's mail fraud every single time.
Yeah, fraud sent through mail is mail fraud. Yeah,
whatever.
It's like 10,000 years worth of.
It's kind of the way they got Capone, like through the a backwards way. Yeah, and then he sits down with Paul Sorvino, plays the mafia guy, and the other guy from Analyze This. Basically, I can never remember his name.
Jelly. I only remember his name from Analyze This. As soon as he came out, I was like, it's Jelly.
And they're uncredited, and he basically tells them, hey, I have the copy of the files. No files have been stolen. I have a copy of them, and they're just gonna be like a ship at sea, and they'll never come into port. And as long as I'm safe, you'll never see it. It's like,
let's just say they're like a ship at sea. It's so it's on a ship.
So his plan is basically, I have copies of everything that protects me as long as I'm alive. No one will ever see the light of day because I'm your lawyer, and I won't say anything. And blah blah blah. blah.
I can't say anything. Yeah,
and I just need you to sign this to say that you want to release your billable hours, so that the FBI can take it and basically
shut down the law firm instead. Yeah.
My only issue with that is like, I don't think that's going to hold up. They're still going to kill him. They're not going to just follow him and figure out that Ray McDear's his brother. He's skipped town. No one has seen him since he's been down in the Caymans, and he's like, where is he? He's not going to sail forever on that boat. Where's he going?
Oh yeah. He's got to go different place. Well, I think the mob will keep him alive because now he's going to become more of a public figure for taking down that firm.
Yes.
So the mob's just going to keep him alive to not put more attention on them. As soon as he kills them, it's going to be like, well, they killed him, and that's going to be in newspapers. That's going to be investigated.
Wait like 5-10 years to do that.
I just don't see them bothering. Once you prove that the guy is loyal, and if he stays the lawyer, then it's just like, eh.
In the book, McDear, like he has to escape to, I don't know if it's the Caymans, he has to go to an island, and he just like disappears. So
that's how I thought this was going to end still anyway. Because it's like, he even says his life is ruined regardless. Right. I would have taken the other half of that money. He only gets half. Mm-hmm. So I would have made sure that I get my 1.5.
Also with the plot, the situation where they set him up with the woman.
That's so dumb. I mean,
they try to get him to. He's walking. He's leaving the party that he's with Avery at. So I guess there was that first woman there that was probably a plan to get him to.
And then they had a second plan,
and then I guess that didn't work. So then this other plan was so those two people rushed to pretend to fight, and
and then she somehow got him, even though 5 seconds earlier he's like, "I'm married. This isn't gonna work. I'm not gonna have sex with you."
You twisted your ankle, and
that's
that
so
whole thing, and
ankle twisting's a big thing.
Yeah, I don't. That. What if he said no, thank you? What if he said no there?
Yeah.
What's the next plan? Is there a third plan?
Why isn't the plan just drug him and take pictures of him with a woman?
Which you wanted, which they basically
do with Avery, kind of. Yeah. Why isn't that the plan?
I don't know.
You got really messed up last night, Mitch. Here's some pictures of you with some women. Like, that's all you needed.
Do you buy, speaking of adultery, do you buy Abby's willingness to forgive Mitch for doing what he did? Not so much at the end, but when she agrees to go along with this plan.
Oh, when she finds out that Avery isn't going to go on the boat?
Whatever, like all that stuff.
Yeah, I mean, we get the feeling that they've been together since probably regular, like either before college or at least like regular college, not like law school. Mm-hmm. They've been together for a very long time. So she loves him regardless of whether she wants to leave him or not. She doesn't want to see him get killed or hurt. She knows how serious the situation is. I 100% buy her starting to kind of fall for Avery. Like that last kiss where he passes out. Like, I like that. Like, is that to make sure he passed out? Was that kind of her finally giving in? Like, I like that.
Attention,
yeah. And the honesty that the fact that he's being honest
at the end.
Yeah. With her. I think that's obviously turns her on or gets her, like, brings her defenses down.
I can't believe that the partners were okay with them murdering one of their own. You know what I mean?
The Avery getting killed?
Yeah.
Drowned? Well, all the files are gone.
So the idea is that the two guys that went down there, which is the Nordic man and the stout and whatever the other.
The stout man who just got his kneecap blown out and somehow can still hobble. Like, no, you're gone.
Like, who are they calling to find out? Should we kill this guy? Should we off him?
See, I didn't understand if they worked for the law firm or if they helped the law firm because they work for the mob.
I don't know.
Because I can see the mob just being like, I don't care, get rid of that guy, kill him. He had our files and he lost our files.
They could be with the mob, but they're assigned to the
that's what I kind of got. Yeah. So the mob was probably just like, no, kill this guy. Mm-hmm. Like, our files are gone. That's unacceptable.
I went, so I'm watching it when we're watching it, and they're talking about when Mitch is with Lamar, right? Yeah, Lamar. And Lamar tells him about how we hired one woman, affirmative action on stilts. It's not a red flag, Mitch. You don't balk at that. Or when Abby,
the one woman we killed.
the firm encourages children. The firm doesn't forbid women from working. Later, at least Abby was like,
Abby's like, I don't like this at all. This is some Twilight Zone. How do you ensure I have babies? Yeah.
I guess,
which we still didn't get an answer.
Well, I don't know if it was a cut line or was in the book, but they kind of go into further detail, like why the firm wants you to have children, because then the women, stay home and they're more. Oh,
sure. And then you have kids, which are more of a target. Yeah.
Then you go out into the backyard and have, Lamar just sits out there with the
sprinkler sitting his leg
like a weirdo, and then you never see it again.
Her twins are the same age as my boy.
And yet, when the scene when they are listening to when they do the fake fight and then you see the recording devices.
Yeah.
That's supposed to be Lamar listening.
I saw that. So
what kind of a friend is he then? He's not. I mean, look, why is he so despondent in that scene?
He can still be sad his friends died, but he's still part of it. He can still regret the final decision that was made, but also probably but also that, like, they deserved it. They went and tried to talk, and that's why they got what they got. Mm-hmm. They're lawyers. Come on. Moral vacuum. It's part of the job.
The line when Mitch tells Abby that he cheats on her, and he's like, I couldn't stand you not knowing. And she's like, well, now I know. And I'm sitting there watching it and knowing's half the battle. I was like, oh, come on. We can't put that in the movie.
My thing was, I couldn't stand you not knowing. And also they have pictures.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh yeah. By the way, I had him friend.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. It's like he acts like I just couldn't stand you. Oh, he's so honest. Like, would she still have forgiven him if she found out that it's because they had blackmail pictures, not because she was? He would never have told her otherwise. It was not eating him up until the pictures were shown.
She just really forgives him really quick. Not forgives him, but kind of is going towards is on the road to forgiveness really fast.
Yes, I don't like that entire part of it. I don't like. Abby could have just left him because he started ignoring her, was maybe a little more angry, just stop becoming the person that she fell in love with and left. And I would have been okay with that. I don't believe that Mitch, at the very beginning, he's like, I love my wife. My wife was the best. My life was the best. Sorry, I can't sleep with you. Oh, all right, now I'm going to sleep with you.
Trip.
Oh, hooker. Yes, the hooker I'm going to sleep with. I'm not going to sleep with this woman hitting on me.
She tells him you're away from one night
yeah, which is true. And it's like, I don't believe that.
Right. And the conversation should be had. Like the firm does a lot of things, but the firm didn't make you cheat. The firm didn't make you sleep.
100%.
So like, I would still think there's trust issues there. I would still have to believe that Abby is a strong enough person and a strong enough character that you've created in this movie
to realize that.
Yeah. She wouldn't be okay with that.
Yeah. 100%.
Like, I know we're supposed to believe the way the movie ends that they live happily ever after in Boston, but I can't, if we're following through and there's a sequel, they're divorced or they're separated and like that, you know what I mean? They're struggling and they can't, because she's always going to be like,
there's always going to be that black spot on their life. Yeah.
No matter what, everything else happened, you still slept with this woman you just met for no reason.
Sorry, I got my
Avery Toller was behind you going, yeah,
I got to go on this business trip. Every time he's on a business trip, she's going to think about that.
Yeah.
It's 100%.
But I guess that's just like movie magic or
what's in Boston? We are. Aww.
What is that girl coming at you? No. Oh, no. How about what
I didn't even know her name.
How about what he was offered to pay? How he was offered to work. The numbers they're throwing at him when he was first getting the job offers.
Oh, what, 60,000 was one of them?
So he was offered 68,000 for one group, but this is for a law firm. So they offered him 96,000. And that's the equivalent of 193,000 in 2020.
I saw that, which is I mean, the whole thing is you have to work your way up, but also he hasn't passed the bar yet.
Right.
So that is still an impressive amount for someone who still isn't technically a lawyer quite yet.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but he passing the bar in Memphis, he still has to take the bar in Massachusetts now.
Yeah.
Because some of them don't translate.
Yeah, they don't translate. Yeah, you got to retake
take the bar again.
The law school part is still the law school part, and the bar might be similar, but it's got to be for the expertise.
We talked about how Holly Hunter was nominated. I should also say that the score was nominated. David Grusin was nominated for the score. This score is so if I hear it without the movie, I know it's the firm.
When one of the songs in this was played in a lot of trailers back in the day, because I was like, I know this song.
Yeah.
Because I did also see it got one for score. And I was like, really? This one for score? Mm-hmm. It's not what you think of when you think of like best score. Mm-hmm. But yeah, a lot of the music is recognizable. And I have never seen the movie.
I'm going to give you some other tidbit facts. I'm just going to throw at you.
Throw them.
Apparently they offered this to Jason Patrick and he turned it down. The Mitch McDear role.
I saw that.
I mean, when was Lost Boys? 91?
90 or 91, I think. Yeah.
I get that. He's kind of up and coming. So,
yeah.
Would you be okay with that?
I mean, I really like Tom Cruise. Yeah. The other thing I think Tom Cruise really fits is Tom Cruise is like short. He's my height, which is not a knock. You know, short people are great, but I like that they don't make him tall in this movie. They keep him short. Everyone towers over him. And I think that looks really good when he's like the little guy standing up for himself, fighting for himself.
What about his baggy suits? What about
that's the early 90s.
I was saying that
because I've been just rewatching like the early X-Files and Mulder's suits are like falling off of him the entire show. I'm like, that's not even comfortable. How are you getting anything done? He's doing the chase scenes.
Baggy's coming back.
It's like, come on.
All the kids in high school are baggy now.
I mean, I can see clothes, but like the trench coats, how is that?
Oh no, trench coat. No, I never.
How's that workable? How is that movable?
No. Did you catch the thief line?
I did not, but I did read that it's in there.
They don't run me and you don't run me.
Which I'm surprised I didn't catch because that's a great line in Thief when he says that. But I like that. I like that about Mitch's character is he says it at the beginning when Avery's like, oh, so you're an idealist. No, I don't like the idea of the government running me. And I don't like I'm my own person. I don't like my job running me. I don't like the government running me. I run my life. Mm-hmm. And it's the same at the end of the movie. Mm-hmm. He doesn't want to be run by the mob or the law firm or the government. he wants out. He wants his freedom. He wants to make his own destiny. And I like that his character is that's straight up him throughout the whole thing.
So John McTiernan was gonna direct this film or expressed interest in directing, and then he didn't because he wanted Scott Rudin off the project and they wouldn't leave him, so he left to do Last Action Hero. Whatever. Regardless of that would have been a completely different film than what we got with Pollock. I think it would have been more plot heavy. It would have been more like basics McTiernan with John Travolta. I think it would be more about solving the mystery kind of thing.
100%.
Character work. And so I think it was really good that this was in Pollock's hand because it was more when we just talked about for like the first 15, 20 minutes about the acting.
More character, more acting. Yeah.
So it was really, do you remember that this is one of the VHSs that are colored, like it's colored blue? Remember we talked? Remember the episode we talked about Hunt for October?
Was this one of the ones?
Paramount had the 5.
Was this one blue?
Yes.
Okay.
I can remember Hunt was red, but
Hunt was red. Something else was green.
Yeah.
The one we did, whatever we did was green. The movie we did was green, I believe. Firm was blue, Hunt was red, and then something was
something was white.
Yeah.
Something was yellow.
Maybe.
But yeah, I can't remember which movie.
But the Firm was blue.
Yeah. Let me get you some reviews, Butler.
Go for it.
Ebert, quote, "The movie is virtually an anthology of good small character performances. The large gallery of characters makes The Firm into a convincing canvas, but with a screenplay that developed the story more clearly, this might have been a superior movie instead of just a good one with some fine performances." So he was kind of.
I would agree. I mean, we're talking about some of the plot stuff, the Abby stuff, the quickness he solves the case.
I don't think the plot stuff is. I don't think it's as egregious as other movies we've seen. I think it's fine.
Not at all.
Yeah,
but I do think it's the character, it's the performances and those little moments that are really like, wow.
Yeah, you've got
which is more the directing and the acting. Right. As opposed to maybe the screenplay and the plot.
There's a lot of good scenes with a lot of the different actors in the film. Even like the scene when he goes and visits Ray when with David Strahan, his playing his brother. That first scene when they go into the prison.
Oh, they're talking. Yeah.
Yeah. Even that scene, like you instantly. I think after that scene, you instantly feel for Ray. You're instantly like on his side and want him. Out
of prison. Yeah. That's not a guy who deserves to be in here.
Yeah. And even like when he talks to Eddie Lomax and Lomax tells him like a lot of people, can survive their time in prison or something like that.
Yeah. Ray's not one of those guys.
Ray
yeah.
just used it all up. Yeah. James Berardinelli. If you can even.
Berardinelli.
I think I said your name wrong, James. I apologize. He said that, quote, "Very little of what made the written version so enjoyable has been successfully translated to the screen. What we're left with instead is an overly long and pedantic thriller."
Ooh, he threw out the pedantic there. I do think it's a little long, but I can't speak to that. I've never read the book, so I can't really.
You should read the book. You should read his books. A lot of the Grisham
I've never read a Grisham novel.
Yeah,
I don't
seriously,
think.
I've got a couple. I'll let you borrow. I don't know if I have this one.
I mean, my dad used to, but a lot of them got like.
I don't know why I don't have it, but I read it, so I might have it. I'll have to look. I'll have to go look and see if I have it after the episode. So then, Mike, who are you recommending this to?
Tom Cruise fans, fans of like
not Tom Cruise fans.
Well, I don't know.
Well, the
I don't think so. I mean, the amount of money he makes on his movies, I doubt there's that many. A lot of people love Tom Cruise. He's a big time superstar. He's one. Yeah, I think obviously Tom Cruise fans, but also people who like law things, like Law and Order fans. I was going to say Special Victims. That's also Law and Order. Yeah, any of those kind of cop or procedural shows and stuff like that. Those are all like, I think those people would really get a kick out of this. People that are lawyers would maybe enjoy it because he kind of wins by lawyering in an action kind of way. But
well, then any of the other films, like the Rainmaker and the Grisham films with the
I like the Rainmaker quite a bit.
Those kind of films where you kind of civil action with John Travolta, A Few Good Men. That has a lot of lawyer stuff in there. A lot of courtroom stuff, lawyer stuff, a lot of courtroom drama stuff. So any kind of courtroom drama that I think, just because that whole world, I think a lot of people enjoy that. So yeah, I can see.
Yeah, that. Yeah. I think that's who, and people that like really good performances. I mean, everyone's like we haven't talked about one person that like was the kind of the loose link in that chain. Everybody's on the top of their game in this movie.
We haven't even talked about the scene when Cruise kicks the shit out of Wilford Brimley.
Drops down and just starts beating him.
And like he's hitting him with his briefcase, which that's not hurting
No,
him.
just kick him. And he keeps going for body shots. Go for the head.
Well, I'm sure that's not Brimley on the ground. He's like in his 60s at this point. So I'm sure. I'm sure he's kicking a stunt guy.
But I just don't understand, like, every movie that's like, oh, it goes to the stomach. Go for the face, man. Just go for the face. End it. The one thing I will say about that scene is why are you putting the bag right under where you're jumping? Put the bag a little bit further away from where you are.
I don't know what that was. Maybe just drop that one.
It's like a lure, yeah.
Yeah. So again, that scene is set up with the fact that he does the acrobat routine when they're walking in the streets of Memphis. So they're setting up like, okay, he's got some kind of gymnastic background, right? My question to you is, do we think that was Tom Cruise doing those flips?
Oh, yeah, I do. Because the camera doesn't cut and then he does a body up. And I was like, wow, that's impressive.
No way. We think that?
Yeah.
Watch that.
I think Tom Cruise has always been big on stunts. And so I 100% think Tom Cruise is that kind of guy that I got it. I can do this. The one thing I don't believe is Tom Cruise can't play in college basketball.
Well, they didn't show him shooting anything. They didn't show him taking a shot.
He's just always on the go. Hey guys, hey guys.
So no, what I'm saying is they never showed him taking a shot. So yeah, I probably not, because one of my biggest pet peeves in movies, in sports films, is when the actor or actress clearly does not have the athletic ability to do the sport they're doing. I hate that. I hate when they shoot even Philip Seymour Hoffman in Along Came Polly, which I know everyone sees, like, rain, make it rain. He actually, that's a good jump shot. He actually knows how to play. So it was like, it was fine. But like, I cannot stand when you see actors and actresses doing like playing golf or playing basketball or playing baseball, and they can't do it. Like Kevin Costner, like Tin Cup, he can play golf. Great. For the love of the game, he can absolutely pitch. Bull Durham, all that stuff. Everyone on there is athletic.
Right.
I hate when they don't have any. So it wouldn't surprise me if he couldn't. They just kind of didn't use it.
I just don't believe him playing.
Well, why? There's people his size that play.
Somebody my height playing college ball.
College? He's not playing college ball. He's playing pickup.
Is it a pickup
ball.
game?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a pickup game with a bunch of professors and law students.
I don't know.
That's not a professional game. No way. Yeah. But they didn't show him shooting, so maybe he couldn't do it. So obviously the show's called Forgotten Cinema, Butler. But like, I don't know why we're going to say this is forgotten. I mean, I guess I can make something up,
it is kind of forgotten. Like I've never seen it. I don't think a lot of people maybe my age have seen this film. I think
really? Like Elise never saw it?
Elise had never seen it.
Wow.
That's why she wanted to watch the trailer before we started watching it.
And then she didn't watch it.
She watched it until she fell asleep.
Nice. Classic.
Which she's one to do. It could be the best thing in the world. She falls asleep.
You know what I've noticed, speaking of that, so I have that big sectional, right? So I usually sit in the corner.
Right.
Where the footrest is. So I can sit in the corner, like I tuck in and I got the blanket.
Right.
I noticed that if I don't do that, if I sit in the middle where I have to sit up, I don't fall asleep from watching. If I'm in the corner, forget it. I'm out. But like, so I'm like, damn it, I have to like make sure I sit there and watch it. Anyways, go ahead.
I don't think that people my age have really seen it. I don't think it's not something you see on TV very often, which might be because of its length. Like, I don't know what you cut out for the TV. I know there is a TV version because I think they re-record one of the lines.
The TV version is after the stuff happened in the movie.
No, I don't mean the TV show. I mean the made for TV format for this movie. I believe they did re-record one of the lines, if I read that in my notes correctly. So it was, but I can't see a TV channel really playing it without cutting the crap out of it. It's just such a long movie.
It's not even that it's not even cut for content. It's cut for time, probably.
Exactly. Yeah. And I don't know what you can cut out of this that doesn't kind of affect the movie. So I don't think, it's not showing there. It's not really a law film. It's just like, it's like not something like you're like going through your TV guide channel back in the day and going, yes. When you're around my age. So I think it kind of got missed by these people. I mean, I think a lot of people a little older, like everybody who was like your age and a little bit older, like probably 20s and up. Were you 20?
Oh, no, I was 18 when this film came out.
Okay. but you were getting really into film.
Yeah,
but I think
was when I was.
yeah.
That was after. Yeah, no. That was I was working at the theater. This is my first summer at the theater, right? June. Yes, because I actually started Interview the Vampires that week too, or something like that. I actually started like the Mother's Day weekend or something like that as an employee. But yeah, and then I started watching everything because it was free.
Right.
And then that kind of kicked off the next 5-10 years after that, where I just consumed movies and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, but like Tom Cruise was a huge star. So like Days of Thunder was before this, and Top Gun and all that stuff.
Oh, sure. Like he's a star.
I would think that you would recommend this, even though we're talking about why it's forgotten. But I think also going back to who you recommended to, I think if people love Tom Cruise or like Tom Cruise, or like, oh, I liked him in American Made. I didn't realize he had that kind of
range and stuff.
I would be like, I'm going to give you a list of 10 to 15 films that came out like
in the early 90s. Yeah.
If you haven't seen them, you should go watch them.
Pre Mission Impossible 2 Tom Cruise, basically. Yeah.
I mean, you need to go watch. Like the pivot to be an action star is completely makes sense because he makes a crap ton of money and they're all very good. And like even ones like Oblivion, we love, and Edge of Tomorrow, which has been renamed Live, Die, and Repeat, we love. So there are other films that are not the Mission Impossible series, Minority Report, which forget it. I could talk all day about that.
Right. Which we have done an episode on.
That's right. I forgot. We did talk all day about that. But there are other films that, if you're a Tom Cruise fan and you know what I mean?
Oh yeah. You're going to, 100%.
And yeah, I guess it's more of a movie that this movie is 30 years old. And so I guess that's probably why it's forgotten.
I think just time faded away. And it's Paramount, but it's not on Paramount Plus. Like you have to rent it.
That's stupid.
Which is a shame.
I don't understand.
And Paramount's got a ton of content, which I don't get why they didn't put it on their app.
I don't. There must be some kind of legal thing.
I'm sure who gets paid and whose contracts say you can't do it.
I mean, if they're distributors, but maybe they might not own the film. They might just pay for the right to have it. They might not part of the
that's
library.
true. Yeah.
Be like a Rudin Picture or whoever owns the film. And then just kind of like they have like those deals and leases that they renew consistently.
Tom Cruise does a lot of Paramount movies.
Well, wasn't Skydance originally a shingle with Paramount?
Yes.
Yeah. I mean,
now Skydance is what's trying to buy it, right?
Were they trying to buy Paramount?
I'm pretty sure they're the ones that are trying to buy it.
They've got so much money because they pretty much produce all his films, and all his films are rock star films. We complained about Dead Reckoning on our now showing episode.
Right.
I have softened on that, and Mike has not. He's mad at me.
I'll get to it. We'll see if I soften before the new one comes up.
I've softened on it, but that made a lot of money. So it's like he's pretty much box office gold at this point. There was that one time when he jumped on the couch where it was like, what's going on? But now he's just box office gold.
Even after that was during Minority Report's time,
but
and
like
he still
that was the first time you started hearing like really like bad press.
Oh yeah,
about him, and then
this Cruise guy might be crazy
stuff, and everyone started making fun of him, and then he's box office gold. He's about a big of a sure thing, if not bigger than like even like Denzel.
100%.
Give me 5 people that are box office gold that doesn't matter what they're in, it's gonna do money. Him,
Tom Cruise, Denzel Washington. I'd say Brad Pitt.
You think Brad Pitt?
I mean, maybe a little bit less now. And that's it. Yeah. I mean, director-wise, Spielberg. You get Spielberg.
We follow directors.
You talk about regular people.
For casual, they do not follow directors.
I mean, there's really nobody young anymore that can do that. There's no new superstar of today.
And that's exactly to the point of what Tarantino was talking about with the superhero films. Like people don't go to see Avengers because Chris Evans is in it. They go to see because Captain America.
Right, 100%.
And that goes to that. Like we have 20-25 years of major films with big stars, but they're not bigger than the roles they played. And now you don't. What don't you have? You don't have bankable movie stars. We've solved it, but you don't. you don't. Yeah, Tom Cruise is Tom Cruise in everything he's in. Harrison Ford is Harrison Ford in everything he's in. But like, there's a reason for that. Those are movie stars, and people will go to them because they are in it.
Yep.
People go to see a Denzel film, which you've talked about ad nauseum on the show because Denzel's in it. So you don't have that now because Chris Evans can be in a movie and it doesn't matter. He's not Captain America. You're not going to get people there.
Yep.
Wow. It's just
different. Better? Worse?
It's just what happens when a trend takes over Hollywood, like superhero films. And this is kind of like we don't know the side effects of all the weight loss drugs.
We don't know the side effects of not having super
in a couple years, in 10, 15 years, we don't know about it. But like, we don't know what the side effects were for superhero films, but now we do. We don't have real movie stars anymore.
Yeah.
Like Hugh Jackman is great, but does he open a film?
I think his name carries some weight, but not Tom Cruise weight. No.
Right.
But I do think his name carries some weight. But X-Men was a little bit before the big superhero takeover craze. X-Men was an anomaly back when it became a huge.
But then he did like movies like.
He used that to leverage different films. 100%. Yeah.
But like, what's the movie where he was the conquistador? Was that called Conquistador? Was that what it was called?
He was a movie where he's a conquistador?
The guy who did Darren Aronofsky did the film with him where he was
The Fountain?
Yes, he played a conquistador.
Oh, in one of his lives. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Like that didn't do anything.
Well, The Fountain's really weird though.
But if Tom Cruise or Denzel Washington's in The Fountain, people are there. That's what I'm saying. That's the point I'm making.
Sure. Okay.
He transcends the movie. Like
sure.
That kind of thing. All right, we're done talking about. I think we really broke something here. Like, I really think we uncovered something.
Really broke through.
Social clip.
Investigative.
I don't know. Any final thoughts? Anything you want to add? That I haven't talked about.
I can't think of anything we haven't really covered. I mean, Ed Harris.
Yeah,
I think
talked about it.
He's really good, but he's always really good. He's a very intense actor, and I think the note I saw, I don't remember if he said. Or the note was just saying that it was like beneath him to do this role or something.
He didn't like the script.
He didn't like the script, his character, but he did it because of Pollock.
He likes City Pollock.
Yeah.
And he wants his friends.
So I think he does a great job because I think it's interesting that someone of his caliber has that role. And I think that intensity he brings just like it really like it's intense. Like his intensity is intense. And I really like when he does films. I think it's I think he's a scary man, but I think he
reminded me of a little bit of, not in terms of, because he reminded me of like Yaphet Kotto in Midnight Run, like that whole angle, like the cops are trying to.
Yeah.
But he doesn't have as much, like Yaphet Kotto has a lot of stuff where they're involved and they're actively capturing them and trying to get them. There's more of their stuff than
he's not in much. Yeah. He's probably got a little bit more screen time than Holly Hunter.
He reminds me of that type of role, that kind of law enforcement who's always behind, trying to catch, trying to think he's got one up on them, but he's always falling back.
I love their last lines between him and Mitch, where he's like mad, and then he's like, but then. Well, if you didn't try to get one over on me, then why did you even do it? Yeah. Like he just doesn't get his whole thing. Yeah, he gives him the tape, gives him the like. You've got 10,000 years of prison time there. You got more than you ever got on Capone, and he's walking out, and he's like, "Where's you got my money?" He's like, "I don't have your money. I gave it all away." And it's just like, why are you doing all this, guy? So I think that's a really good role as well. That's very good.
You're talking about the line when he gives him the tape. He's like, "That's you at the racetrack," because they.
Oh, I like that too. Yeah.
Like, why? He's like, I was
all the things.
Why would you use it? Because it's against the law. Like Mitch is about the law. Mitch is about what's right and
what's right and wrong. Yeah.
So in that line, you get that at the end.
Yeah, I like that whole scene.
Yeah.
That's all I got.
Tell them where they can find us.
You can find us at ForgottenCinemaPodcast.com or wherever you get your podcast. You're listening to us or watching us right now. Why don't you go ahead and drop a like, a subscribe, a comment. What's your favorite non-action Tom Cruise movie? Or what's your favorite Sidney Pollack film or John Grisham film? Let us know in the comments below. And if you want to see more from us, we are on Patreon. Forgotten Cinema Patreon. We've got
smooth.
I was trying to say the website. I almost said our website again.
Patreon.com/Forgotten
Cinema. Where it says it right here.
Oh, you're putting it in the thing?
I always put it always pops up.
Sweet.
Thanks for watching our movie.
Oh, come on, man. I do them.
If you want to support the show, we're there. We've got exclusive episodes. We've got timed exclusive episodes that you get before anybody else. Early access. You've got merchandise discounts, Discord access, all that good stuff. So hop on over to our Patreon and take a look, a gander. We've also got a merchandise page if you want to support us this way. But honestly, just watching the show, supporting us, telling everybody about us is the best support we can have.
I mean, Patreon would be good.
I mean, money's not bad. We all like money.
Yes. Join us next week. We're going to be doing 2002's Narc. Speaking of Jason Patrick, he's in that.
Hey.
Yoda. written and directed by Joe Carnahan. So I saw this, couldn't tell you anything about it. Like I remember images from the movie, but I just blank.
I have 2 shots from the movie that I remember very vividly, but the last time I thought that, one of those shots wasn't in the movie at all. So I'm going to hold off on saying what that shot is until I watch it next week and see if it is what I think it is.
So that's next week. We're doing Narc. Go out and watch The Firm. Go out and watch any of the John Grisham. I think you're right. I think I like the Rainmaker of the John Grisham movie adaptations. I think I enjoy the Rainmaker the most.
The Rainmaker's got the most heart, I think.
It's just got it, but it also has like the underdog against the big big medicine or big pharma or whoever he's against, the insurance companies.
Yeah, he doesn't feel like untouchable. Like Tom Cruise is like almost like a lawyer superhero.
Yeah.
And Matt Damon's kind of just like
Pelican Brief's okay.
A guy.
Pelican Brief's very 90s.
Pelican Brief is a much different movie.
But it's very 90s.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. The Client, like Pelican Brief, I just remember the Pelicans. The Client, I only remember that one scene. I know that Tommy Lee Jones is in it. Couldn't tell you what else.
I have to watch.
Although my favorite Grisham book is A Time to Kill. So I like the Time to Kill movie, but I do think it's a little hokey at the end. Do you remember Time to Kill?
I've seen it.
So Time to Kill at the end has when Matthew McConaughey's summation, and he's like, picture a girl tied up to a tree.
Yeah.
Picture she's white. I'm just like when I remember watching that with John back then, I was just like, wow. But when I watched it again, I was just like,
doesn't always hold up.
It's really corny, but I love that that book. That's one of my favorite Grisham books because a lot of his books get very technical, kind of like Clancy books.
Oh yeah,
Clancy's books gets really technical. But Time to Kill is really more about the plot and the action and getting this guy off and solving that.
Yeah.
So I really.
Well, the movie is. I haven't read the book, but yeah.
No, the book I'm talking about. No, but yeah. So Time to Kill and Rainmaker are probably my 2 adaptations. I know I'm forgetting a couple of ones. I don't know why I just started going down a Grisham tangent, but you're welcome. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. I'm Mike Bill.
I'm Mike Butler.
And this has been Forgotten Cinema. Hey everyone, if you liked hearing what we had to say about The Firm, we like that movie, and you like more adult style and political intrigue type stuff, check out our Ides of March episode right above me.
And above me is our now showing episode for Deadpool Wolverine. That's right, we do new movies when they first come out, and we did this one, and it's way different than The Firm, so why don't you check that out too. Thanks for watching, thanks for listening, catch you next time.